Last week, Moltbook, the AI-only social network, produced an unexpected rebuttal to Nobel laureate Geoffrey Hinton's idea for long-term gainful employment for humans in the age of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. In several interviews in 2024 and 25, Hinton said that AGI will take a long time to master physical manipulation tasks compared to intellectual work, and so learning a trade like plumbing is a good idea to hedge against mass unemployment that Hinton himself, as well as other pundits, predict as a side effect of AI becoming more and more intelligent. The concept of a human as a service, or rent-to-human, emerged a few days after the launch of Moltbook and inverted the typical service pattern where humans tend to be clients and artificial intelligence as server. Open claw bots, or perhaps more likely, their unseen human owners, figured out that building an Uber platform for everything else, not just private transportation, is not such a hard thing anymore, and so plumbing can conceivably be farmed out at scale, just like the private driving can. I do use the analogy of Uber to highlight that this is not a novel idea. About 15 years ago, very few sectors of the economy offered this scale of demand on par with that of private transportation in high-density metropolitan areas like New York to justify the multi-million-dollar investment into the software and infrastructure needed to create a private driver-as-a-service platform. Now that a full platform can be spawned by a technically minded product manager single-handedly in a few days, many more sectors can be intermediated by a human-as-a-service software platform. The example of Uber is important for another reason. Government regulators across the world put up a fight against Uber back in the day because undergraduate-level economic theory is enough to understand that a platform with massive economies of scale acting as a gateway to a perfect market of multiple undifferentiated service providers with zero bargaining power sucks out any economic profit that a late-night driver may produce and concentrates it in the hands of the platform owners. Lack of economic profit for the service provider means that no sustainable capital accumulation is possible in the long term. Uber driver is the modern-day slave of the monopolistic platform that dispatches his work. The software automation, whether AI-driven or not, is not the source of the problem. A very obvious lack of testicles in the pants of the anti-monopoly government regulators is. A platform that had high economies of scale, like an electricity grid or a phone operator, was recognized as a utility and was regulated as such in the 20th century. Not anymore. The fact that nobody in the government calls Uber or Amazon or OpenAI or Starlink a utility does not make the fact that it is a utility go away. The observation that half a dozen companies burn money to build AGI does not make it a competitive market. It is a race to become the biggest monopolistic utility that squashes all of its competitors and remains the sole AGI platform concentrating all economic profit in the hands of its owner. This whole insanity is possible not because of the technological marvels like neural networks or massively parallel processing, but because there is no government regulator standing at the finish line waiting to turn the winner into a government-regulated utility that will serve the economy in a way that is most beneficial to the entire economy, not a single monopoly within it. This is why the tech bros were all aboard for the decapitating of the American government institutions. They don't really care whether Trump builds a fascist state that deprives them of cheap immigrant labor. They are much more worried if a level-headed economist with balls gets to run the Federal Trade Commission. Thank you for listening and subscribing. I'm Alex Chaduk, and this is AGI. Listen every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform.